Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I've been watching General Hospital for a long time, and one thing I've learned is that trouble often shows up when a character finally starts getting their life together. That's exactly why I can't shake this feeling about Trina Robinson right now. On the surface, everything seems to be falling into place for her. But if there's one thing life has taught me, it's that success can attract attention from all the wrong people. What really stands out to me is that Trina is finally putting herself first. After spending so much time caught in the middle of Curtis and Portia's problems, she has decided to step back and focus on her own future. Personally, I think that's one of the healthiest decisions she has made in a long time. She understands that fixing her parents' relationship isn't her responsibility, and now she's determined to invest her energy in something that truly belongs to her, her career and her dreams. That decision couldn't have come at a more important time. Trina is preparing for a major performance that could completely change the direction of her life. We're talking about an opportunity to stand in front of powerful music industry executives and prove that she has what it takes to become a star. As I see it, moments like these don't come around often. One great performance could open doors that have been closed for years. I also like seeing the people around Trina supporting her. Gio will be by her side during this important chapter, and Kai continues to be one of her biggest supporters. There's something heartwarming about watching a young woman chase her dreams while having people who genuinely believe in her. In a town where betrayal and heartbreak seem to be around every corner, that kind of support is worth its weight in gold. But here's where my concern starts to grow. Fame has a funny way of changing everything. The more successful someone becomes, the more visible they become. And sometimes visibility attracts admiration, but other times it attracts obsession. That's why these hints about a possible stalker storyline immediately caught my attention. I can easily imagine Trina becoming the center of unwanted attention after her performance. Maybe it starts with something harmless. A stranger who appears at multiple events, messages that seem flattering at first, someone who knows a little too much about her schedule. Those small details can seem innocent in the beginning, but longtime soap fans know they often lead somewhere much darker. What makes this situation especially dangerous is that Trina is focused on building her future. She's thinking about opportunities, music, and the exciting possibilities ahead. When someone is looking toward the bright lights of success, they may not notice the shadows creeping up behind them. That's why I have a feeling this story may become much bigger than a simple career breakthrough. As I watch all of this unfold, I can't help thinking that Trina may be walking straight into a mystery she never sees coming. Her upcoming success could be exactly what puts her on a dangerous person's radar. And if that happens, the journey she believes will lead to fame and happiness may also lead to one of the most frightening chapters of her life. As I look at where this story seems to be heading, I keep coming back to one thought. Trina may be walking straight into the most dangerous period of her life without even realizing it. What makes this storyline so fascinating is that everything appears positive on the surface. She's finally focusing on herself, pursuing her dreams, and moving away from the family drama that has consumed so much of her energy. But if there's one thing I've learned from watching General Hospital all these years, it's that trouble often arrives when a character feels like life is finally falling into place. The summer spoilers are already hinting that Trina is about to attract a level of attention she's never experienced before. The moment I heard that, I immediately started thinking about a stalker storyline. In Port Charles, attention can be a dangerous thing. Most people would assume that a young woman pursuing a music career would naturally gain fans and supporters. That's true. However, there is always the possibility that one admirer takes things far beyond normal boundaries. What begins as admiration can quickly evolve into obsession, and obsession rarely leads anywhere good in a soap opera. If Trina's upcoming performances are successful, she could suddenly find herself in the spotlight. New opportunities would begin appearing, powerful people would start taking notice, and her public profile would grow rapidly. While that sounds exciting, it also creates the perfect environment for someone to become fixated on her. I can easily imagine Trina receiving anonymous gifts, mysterious messages, or finding herself repeatedly encountering the same person at different events. At first, those moments might seem harmless or even flattering. Over time, however, they could become increasingly unsettling as she realizes someone knows far too much about her daily life. One possibility that really stands out to me involves the music executives who may help launch Trina's career. Personally, I think this angle would create an especially compelling storyline. Imagine a powerful executive, becoming obsessed with the talented young woman whose future they helped shape. At first, their behavior might seem supportive and encouraging. They could offer advice, career opportunities, and personal attention that appears completely innocent. The problem begins when professional admiration turns into personal obsession. The frightening aspect of that scenario is that Trina might not recognize the warning signs immediately. After all, this would be someone helping her achieve her dreams. It would be easy to trust them. They might slowly begin crossing boundaries while convincing themselves that they have a special connection with her. By the time Trina realizes something is wrong, the situation could already be far more serious than she ever imagined. I've seen storylines like this before, and they often become some of the most intense and emotional stories a soap can tell. At the same time, I can't ignore the possibility that Quinn could become the real source of trouble. We already know that Quinn is returning, with hopes of repairing his friendship with Kai. On the surface, that sounds like a positive development. Kai wants Quinn to apologize to Trina for the way he treated her in the past, and hopefully build a better relationship with her moving forward. That seems reasonable enough, but life isn't always that simple, especially in Port Charles. The more I think about it, the easier it becomes to imagine Quinn developing feelings for Trina after spending more time around her. Maybe he starts out genuinely trying to make amends. Maybe he truly wants to become a better person. But emotions can become complicated very quickly. If Quinn begins admiring Trina and sees how much Kai loves her, jealousy could start creeping into the picture. Before long, he might convince himself that Kai doesn't deserve her or that he would be a better match for her. So that's where things could become genuinely dangerous. I can picture Quinn slowly becoming obsessed without even fully realizing it himself. He might begin finding excuses to be around Trina more often. He could start paying attention to every detail of her life, monitoring where she goes, who she spends time with, and what her future plans are. In his own mind, he may justify these actions as concern or friendship. In reality, he could be crossing lines that should never be crossed. What worries me even more is the possibility that Quinn could try to position himself as Trina's protector. Sometimes the most manipulative people don't try to scare someone away from their loved ones. Instead, they try to become indispensable. I could easily see Quinn creating situations where he appears to be the hero. He might insert himself into problems, offer solutions nobody asked for, or conveniently appear whenever Trina finds herself in trouble. Over time, he could try to make himself look like the person she needs most. If that's the direction the story takes, it would create enormous complications for both Trina and Kai. Kai would likely feel responsible for bringing Quinn back into their lives. Trina would be forced to question whether someone she trusted had been manipulating her all along. The emotional fallout could be just as damaging as any physical threat. Sometimes betrayal hurts far more than danger itself. As I watch all these pieces coming together, I can't help feeling that Trina's growing success may come with a painful price. Whether the threat turns out to be an obsessed fan, a controlling music executive, Quinn, or someone else entirely, the warning signs are beginning to appear. The spotlight around Trina is getting brighter, but that spotlight may also be attracting someone who sees her as more than a talented young performer. In the end, I suspect the biggest challenge of Trina's summer won't be impressing record executives or advancing her career. It may be discovering that someone has become dangerously invested in her life. And if that person truly is stalking her, the question won't be whether trouble is coming. The question will be how far that individual is willing to go before they're finally exposed. Knowing General Hospital, I have a feeling the answer could be far more disturbing than anyone expects.